my stamping friends, this is Oksana from funstamper.com, and right now it's Wednesday, 6 p.m. Time to get creative, time for Funky Wednesday. All right, as always, it's a Facebook Live, so I'll give everybody a second to join to make sure that you guys see what's going on. I'll pull you here on my computer to see if it's working as expected. If you're watching replay, please skip maybe a minute or two and we will get started. All right, I see I'm in the right place, and let's get to the project today. So today I have a really fun fold for you. I came across it's Claire from UK. She showed it and I watched a video, and I just jumped yesterday right away to create. So this is my prototype. So again, simple card. We're not really talking about decorating it elaborately on the top, but let me show you how it looked inside. So when you open, look at that. You have a way to feature designer paper and kind of display the card in the way that is kind of that wow inside. So it's also a really good way to use your designer paper because you could decorate your inside, your outside, and also those pieces as well. So when I saw this fold, actually, so this was my prototype. I had this paper lay on my desk. I'm actually always grabbing what I'm working last. So I'm working right now on my club, Punk Creations Club. So I use the Hello Resistible a lot. So this is my prototype. I know with this paper and this kind of those hues, it's impossible to mess up. So I was confident I could accomplish. But other thing what I really wanted to do, I was on a crunch to have a birthday card. So my daughter, I don't think she's watching, but so she's turning 25 and it's a big milestone. And I wanted some cards that kind of represent her, but kind of with a little bit of wow, right? Not just top decorated and stuff. So she's a big outdoor person. She likes to backpacking and hiking and stuff like that. So this is the card, my second one. It's need a little bit of work. I'm pretty happy as I didn't have anything yet before. So this is the card, and it's featured Greatest Journey. When you open, it looks like that. So it's kind of have different elements and little climber on top of the mountain. Let's celebrate you. And I will be putting white piece of paper and writing my message here. Obviously, it's much more to write. So this is my second card, and I was pretty happy with that. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for jumping in and learning how to make really fun fold. And this one, I just wanted to see different side of panels and stuff. I think I did too much bling, but it's the same idea. I kind of inserted the panel, right? So let me show you how we're gonna do that and decorate, and we're actually gonna do it on a fly. What I wanted to use, also let me point a couple things to you. See how those panels are tall, so they're 5 inches. So they're pretty tall. You don't see much background, right? This panel, I believe I did 4.5, and that's my favorite kind of width of those panels. And sometimes designer paper is actually based on designer paper. You kind of wanted to preserve this image. It could go basically any heights, no more than probably 5 inches. So it's kind of correspond. So let's get started. And what we're gonna do, it's actually, Monica, really easy to create. You will grab your supplies, and I'm sure by tonight you'll start sending me pictures. So let me find my envelope with the goodies. All right, it's here. So it's really standard card. This is we're gonna use the Regency Park bundle. I have a class Friday and Saturday, and I'm offering a few kids to go. And as I'm working with us, I'm like, okay, let's just use this and see what we could create with this beautiful designer paper. So card is your regular 5.5 by 8.5, scored in 4 1/4. So it's just your regular scored card that opens like that. So this is easy. And now you have couple choices how to decorate inside. So most of the cards was the easiest for me to decorate with a designer paper, right? So interestingly enough, and we're gonna kind of start from inside, it's gonna be decorated inside. So designer paper is an easy choice because I do have a class and I didn't quite cut it yet, and I just paper 6 by 6. I just don't want it to run out of any pattern, so I don't want to use a lot of this paper yet, as I'm not sure I have enough for everybody. So what I chose to do instead, because pattern is kind of with the flowers, I chose to actually take basic white and emboss it. So it's 4 by 5 and a quarter. Yes, and a quarter. So it's gonna go there. And here I have a mechanism, and this is exactly what Clara did. So I kind of copied from her. So let me pull. So this is for inside, and we're gonna definitely decorate outside. So we will start. I started with 4 inches. This is slightly smaller panels because I really wanted 2 inches left over. So it's 4 inches by 1.5, and it's 4 pieces. So it's, guess what? It's exactly your 6 by 6 paper. You will need 1 sheet of paper to cut it. I cut a mat, and this one will be petal pink. It's going to be slightly larger. So it's going to be 4 1/8 by 1 5/8. You could go to, a little bit larger if you don't like 8s. I really like small borders. So this is going to be kind of layering it on that. And then your actual mechanism that's going to pull it, it's going to be 1 3/4 by 8. Just kind of nice widths, pretty similar, a little bit smaller than this. Could be any widths. This one seems working. This is what Claire was using, and then I copy from that. So far easy, right? So let me assemble the mechanism, and we will do little decorating. So you will need to do really simple scoring. That's why I like that it's 1 3/4 by 8. So you're gonna score every 2 inches. So it's easy to remember, right? You're gonna score at 2, at 4, at 6, and at 8. It seems like I didn't cut it. Let me cut it off. So I didn't cut by 8. It need to be by 8. Let me go ahead and cut that piece really quick. All right. So this is, and we're gonna score in the center to create a mountain, and those 2 other one will be your volley. Okay. So far, super simple, right? Let's just go ahead and adhere our panels. Use the glue of your choice. I like to use this particular glue. It gives me wiggle room. So whatever works for you, you do. And this paper is so pretty. I'm just absolutely in love with Night of Navy and Petal Pink and Balmy Blue. This paper also have shaded spruce. We discussed last week in my video. It's not that color that I use. So I actually, in a class, and I'll show you samples in a little bit, we're not going to use shaded spruce. I'm going to go with soft succulent. Just love that. And it's going to be good enough because I'm not really using any patterns that show shaded spruce. Okay, so far is easy, right? So let me show you how to put those panels right now inside. All right, so we're gonna put, in the easiest way, I like to use my grid paper. And what we're gonna do, obviously, if you try to lay out right now everything in a row, it's super tough to make sure it's everything aligned. And again, it's not my idea. Clara was doing it, so I was just copying and kind of master it. So you want it to be in the middle, so I kind of looking on those little squares on the grid paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So probably gonna do like approximately eyeball it. Let me mark it. It's not right and or wrong. Could be a little, be slightly off. It's not a big deal. I just mark it here. Okay, well, I guess I make a hole. So what you're gonna do right now, you're gonna put your adhesive kind of here, and you're gonna put first piece. If you have pattern that kind of directional, you kind of cut the way and you wanna assemble, you start from your left side. And you're gonna put this one, kind of align it in the center. That's why wet glue is a really nice idea, because it gives you little wiggle room. So this is only piece that you need to worry. If you do this one correct, guess what? You already did pretty much half job. Then you take a second piece. It kind of needs to be like this, but it's going to be hard to align on all three sides. What we're going to do, we're going to lay down it face down on this piece. And we're going to put a glue here. And make sure it's kind of aligned, right? You still have time to move, and you fold it, right? Now, you need to put this thing face up. So next one, and you do it here. See how easy it is? It's pretty much, you could watch TV, talk to your husband, and still be doing good job. All right. Like that. And now, because we're gonna meet face down again, and glue it. Because I'm using a wet glue, we will need to give it, a couple minutes to dry. So what I'm gonna do is I use Regency Park. It's kind of you creating a book. And I'm gonna put my punch on top of it. Let's work on the front of the card, because I want to do a little bit of stamping. And before I glue anything, I wanted to do that. So let me pull some pieces. Again, I kind of have similar card for the class done, meaning outside, but it's not exactly the same. So we will kind of figure out what we're gonna do. So there's 2 bundles in it. Regency Park, Sentimental Park, and Petal Park. I really like Petal Park with a punch. Really cool set. This one has a lot of sentiments that was fun to work with, and dies is just to die for. Look at this die. So this is one of the dies, and it has another die that you could actually stamp on it, and after that you kind of pull it inside. It's just so pretty. I didn't realize it's that other die. When it's first time I cut it, I'm like, okay, why it has kind of pulling it, and kind of pulling it, and it works. See, like so. Look how cool. Put a little bit of glue, and you already have a pretty one. I'm not sure we're gonna use that one. There's other die, I really like it, kind of minimalistic, but has what we need. So what we're gonna do here, I will take this image, and because we're gonna have like larger border, I always stamp a little bit. And I'm just gonna take this image, and I will use, it's interesting. So we change the clocks, and I allow it's, nice and bright. But the way my stamp room is positioned, so I have west side. So when, sunset, pretty much it's like really, really sunny. So like, it's kind of, I have a glare, so it's kind of interesting. So, yeah. So I like to go around with this stamp to kind of give it a little bit of definition. And that's why I wanted to stamp first before we're gonna do anything, before we're gonna glue. Remember, we cut paper at 4 inches. So I had leftovers, so I'm gonna use those strips of leftovers, and I cut another pattern, kind of assemble our focal point. I like 6x6 paper, but sometimes, 12x12 seems like it could go a little bit longer way. So this is what I want to do. Kind of wanted to, let's see if I need to cut it or not. I think it's pretty much, let me cut a little bit out of it to have a little border. I like tiny borders. So we're doing this card first time. I don't have a prototype. I just really wanted to see how this card and this fold will look like with this particular bundle. All right, I'm suspense. We'll see what we create. Okay, so we're gonna glue this piece, that we're gonna glue another piece for the same distance. Are you guys liking the time change here in US? Longer day, I feel you could still go and do things. Oh, I love it. And today was a little bit cooler outside. We're in Florida. Cooler is like what, 60 degrees? I know we're spoiled. Okay. It may not be straight because sun in my eyes, but it is what it is. And I'll cut a little tiny sliver out. So it's also, this particular layout is a nice way to use your scraps. So idea will be, it goes in the middle, and then you have your label and sentiment. So we're going for, relatively simple look. Okay. Yeah, Teresa, you liking time change too? All right. Yeah, absolutely. It was really tough first couple days, but I did manage, because it's like I don't want to go to sleep, and in the morning it's tough. You like to get up early, and especially on regular day. So we're gluing these pieces right now inside, so we will be decorating inside. Now I will glue that piece outside too, and then we will see how we're gonna decorate and do some stamping. I will show you one more time those other cards that I created, and I'll tell you about some other ideas that I just got just before Facebook Live with those panels. I really like the panels because you could have 4 panels from 6x6 pieces of paper. It's kind of nice type of measurements, but I'll show you what I kind of thinking to change. All right, so let's get our piece. So this is our piece. See how pretty, and it's matching outside. I'm not straight today, but oh well, we'll call it prototype. So now you have option how to glue. If you're gonna glue from side to side, kind of, right? So it falls flat. So you could glue this piece anywhere you want, meaning that depends where you glue it, you could actually, when it stands, you could kind of have it in different angle. You see that? So you have, choice is yours. So also really easy to put together. Where's my tear tape? And I really recommend for you to use tear tape. And I have 2 rolls here. Now I don't see it. So use tear tape on those. I only put tear tape on those kind of that folding mechanism, that long strip. You could put two pieces, 3 pieces. I'll probably put 3 pieces here because I use embossing. And sometimes when you use embossing, it's, it's not glue adhering that well, right? Because that piece is embossed. So you could probably use your, Tombow or any other strong adhesive. Just make sure that, because that card gonna be open and closed multiple times. So my paper doesn't have direction, so it doesn't matter, you know, how I'm gonna pull. That's why I kind of like that effect. So you're gonna take on one side, take strips on one side, right? And remember, before we kind of eyeball it where we want it. So I wanted it around here, kind of position it so I have equal border from top and bottom. And I put it, right? And I still holding it straight, removing this piece, and closing the cards. That's it. I mean, it's like those steps it's almost impossible to mess up because everything is folding perfectly. All right. Ta-da! See that? See how cool? And let's go ahead and decorate. So let me pull this piece and let's celebrate you. I really like that stance that, like I was saying, you could build your sentiment, thinking of you. Let's celebrate you. Or let's celebrate your new adventure, your anniversary, your graduation. This fold could be really cool for graduation. That's something that I'm in need too. So let's see, let's celebrate. And you. And I'm gonna do everything in Night of Navy. I like that color. Okay, so we're gonna use this one. And let's celebrate. Then you're probably gonna do it slightly higher. Let's celebrate. And you could do 2 different colors. We're gonna do just one. All right. And let's just do a little bit of stamping. I wanted some flowers on that. See, we could have be using this label too, right? Do you want to use this label? And then don't do flowers? Let's just stamp. And let's get a piece of basic white. And I wanted, it's multiple flowers that you could stamp. I really like this set of flowers. It's 2-step stamping. So you don't need to color. Sometimes coloring is a lot of fun, but also 2-step stamping is much faster. My tip, if you're using a punch, you always want it to have to stamp. See, we have the kind of larger and medium flower towards the bottom. This is how you want to stamp. If you stamp it like this, then you'll have a problem to punch. So I also figured out that if you're using this particular bundle, to start with outline is much easier than to start with the centers. For some reason, like especially with the light ink. Let's see if I could get my light. I'll stamp 2 times just in case I mess up. Okay, and inside I'm gonna use petal pink as well. I'm going for softer colors, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stamp off. I really want a little bit of color, and let's see. We really need 1 flower, but maybe we'll use another one for inside. Done. All right. And we're gonna punch. Those flowers also, and I'll show you the card we made. Those flowers also, if you punch all three, let's say from a DSP or from cardstock, and you layer them together, you could make really, really pretty. I need to stand up to see better. Do you guys do it when you punch in something you need to stand? Sometimes when you're stamping, it's much easier. There's a phone in my way from... I think it's good enough. Okay. So we're gonna add couple dimensionals. Here's nice brand new pack. I think like this one is already pretty. It's multiple ways to decorate. Again, we learn a new fold. Maybe I'm not gonna put a flower. What do you think? Maybe I'll go for simple. I will think about it. I'm not sure if you do that. I often create a card and then I step away from it, and then, you know, I come up with something else. So this is a basic fold, and inside it could be like that, or you could put little circle and stamp on it. We're gonna put a gold bow. Everything is much prettier with gold. This one is my to-go ribbon. Just love it. So glad it carried over from a last catalog. Okay, let's glue it here. And we're almost done. And with the decorating, I should be coming back and probably adding different pieces. But I will show you kind of my dilemma after I was doing this fold. And, you know, absolutely love it because so unusual, kind of create wow. And here, for example, you could add, let's say, happy birthday, for example, and add a flower, right, or somewhere here. So you could basically kind of keep decorating this piece. Where is my happy birthday? See if it's gonna fit. It could be just happy birthday will fit. But as you could see, you know, there is not much room. This is pretty small, relatively small circle. So, and the same when I was decorating for my daughter, I noticed that it's kind of, if you wanted to add some sentiment and things, it's not that much room, right? Because the panels is only technically 1.5 inch. And 1.5 inch not giving you that much of real estate. So it was just before Facebook Live. I was walking my dog and I was thinking, I don't have an engineering degree, but you know, sometimes kind of the idea pop up in my head how to alter it and if it will work. So I was thinking that it will be nice if that panel will be a little bit bigger. Then one of the panels could be actually your white piece that you could write a sentiment and, you know, greeting or whatever, right? Or you could just decorate it. So that's much easier to decorate slightly bigger piece. See, we could add it here with little gold. And we wanted to do it flat because you want a card to lay flat. So you could add extra piece and extra little leaf, punch out. Let's see if I still have. Let's see if this one will work. So kind of basically you could decorate any way you want. You could just add extra piece here. Probably need to have 2 leaves, but you got the idea, right? And I'll decorate and post pictures later. So this is pretty cool card and pretty impressive. There's a 4-inch panel. See what I was saying, the 4-inch panel you could do 5-inch. Seems like 4.5 is my favorite size. So let me show you other cards and then I get you some other. We have a little bit of time. So this is what the card I created for my daughter. So it's 4.5 pieces. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to do like, let's celebrate, and I barely had enough room to put it, right? To take it from the panels. So I was thinking, and we may try it right now, just a prototype, and see if it works. So remember when we put it flat, right? So it's plenty of space here left. So I'm thinking, why not to make this panel as wide as possible, right? If we could leave one panel, I was thinking about it, but it's still pretty narrow, right? So you could not really put much. So you want to definitely have a slightly bigger panel. That's why this is kind of more for wow factor and kind of different decoration, and stand it like that, almost for display, and you could put your greeting here. So what I kind of thought about it, how to use your standard paper and still have it, right? So remember, we use 8 inches by 1 3/4. So I say, what if you use entire length? So we use 11, right? So let's just go as long as we could go, right? So we're gonna use 11 by 2 because it's slightly longer, so I want a bit slightly wider. So I'm gonna score it kind of in the quarters. So it's gonna be 2 3/4. Let's see if it's gonna work. I'm really curious. And I'll turn it around. So 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. Okay. And then other thing, what we wanted to do, so basically panels should be wider, because previous one was 2 inches, and this is pretty much 3/4 inches wider. So I was thinking, hey, let's just go 3/4 of inch wider as well. Get it out. And I did pre-cut pieces here. So, and because we're doing it first time, I actually pull some paper. I always do my prototype with some kind of retired paper, something that if I mess up, it's not a big deal. So we're gonna use a white piece of cardstock, so the same cardstock, right? This way, because I don't want to emboss or anything like that, I chose to decorate as we normally gonna decorate, so 4 by 5 1/4 piece, right? And then panels, I use, I want to say 4.5, it's my favorite length, and I decided to do 2 1/4. So each of those gonna be 2 1/4. So obviously you need to have 2 6 by 6 pieces, or you will need to have, 12 by 12 to cut it, right? Because it's a bigger panels. But you could only possibly need 3, and your number 4 could be, piece could be for writing some sentiment, okay? I did cut 4, but we're gonna use 3 pieces. And we're gonna use, so 4.5 by 2 1/4. So we're going a little bit larger. And I did whisper write exactly the same. So this is what we're gonna write on. And now the pieces gonna be 4 5/8 by 2 3/8, 1/8 inch larger. I will post everything on my blog, funstamper.com. After I finish this card, I'll probably recreate it with something a little bit kind of more current and stuff. So let's just go ahead and glue it. Again, right now, step's going to be exactly the same as you had before. So we're gluing the panels. And the last panel, I actually going to leave it empty. I'm not going to glue my basic white because if I assemble everything, it will be really hard for me if I wanted to stamp a little something. Then it's not going to be possible. So we're going to glue 3 pieces. If you have a lot of DSPs that you would like to use and showcase, this is a great way to use your designer paper and create this wow factor without kind of much work. Some gluing involved, but that's pretty much it. So, and for inside, we're gonna glue it. This is a Host designer paper. It's in a big catalog. You could get it think $15, basically free with stamping rewards. So we're gonna glue it here. And so glue, this is called art glitter. And this is not what Stampin' Up carries. I use Tombow from time to time because it's smaller and I travel with that. But this is glue of my choice because of the tip. My friend Chris was using it and she got me a bottle, and like a few years ago, and the rest is history. It was pre-COVID. And so we're folding like we did before. Remember, mountain in the middle and 2 volleys. And let's just kind of think if it's gonna work, right? So see what I'm saying? If it's folded, it doesn't matter how big a panels. You could even technically go bigger. We just don't have such a big cardstock. Maybe if you go 12 by 12, and you could score it every 3 inches. So this one is just gonna, you know, stand out a little bit more, right? So, and exactly as we did before, we're gonna put this one, we're gonna take our panel, we're gonna align in between, kind of first time we wanted to do this first piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of wanted to make sure it's in the middle. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's good enough. Mark it here. And we're gonna put glue. Almost did a mistake. See? I thought it's so easy, but still need to think a little bit. And we're gonna adhere this piece, kind of a line. You have, with that wet glue, you have some wiggle room. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it too. Really pretty cards. I'll show you a sneak peek to everybody in a second. If you want to be surprised, close your eyes. But yeah, I end up loving it, and obviously I needed to create some really funky folds. So now you're gonna take the second panel. You're gonna put face down, align exactly, kind of holding it in place, and you're gonna be applying glue. Fold it. Then you're gonna be applying glue again on this side. Then you could either you put one face up, and you're just aligning now. You don't really measuring. This stick mark is nothing. You're really aligning, so you could not really see edges of previous one. And then this one doesn't have a face, but gonna have a white piece to write. You're gonna put it here. Okay, where's my punch? We're gonna put it for punch to hold it in place, and I'll show you the cards really quickly. So this is one that we created. I got the idea from one of the cards, right? So this is the class I'm offering local for my local ladies. And I also have a to-go option. So if you look on funstamper.com, you will see to-go options, and this is one of them. You could register for it. It's not listed as a kids because I'm still double checking, but if you're interested, let me know. So this is one of the cards that we're making. This is another. This is funky fold, the way it's kind of folded and done everything. I just like this type of pastel. So for some reason I'm on that pastel. They have bolder pattern. This is the easy one. I always design kind of easier cards and a little bit more complicated. This is one that I was telling you that you could punch the flowers and kind of assemble them together. I really like it. It's really easy to make and kind of have this 3D effect. And this is the card that we kind of designed from it, but check it out. Ta-da! So this is pretty cool fold. So I'm really proud of that card. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm gonna have to-go kits listed soon. If you're not local, I also have a tutorial for sale in my store for those kind of elaborate classes. And I will also include tutorial for this one as well with the measurements in my PDF. All right. So let's get back to our card. So let's decorate a little bit up front. Again, I don't really know what we're doing yet. I just cut extra piece of paper. Let's just do strips, and I will put sentiment after. So again, right now we're doing pretty simple decoration on top. We're learning how to make that pop-up mechanism. All right. If you're local, I believe I have one spot for Saturday and few spots for Friday available. So if you're interested, let me know. It's going to be definitely fun class. We always have fun. Doesn't matter what we do. Thank you, Sherry. All right. So basically, idea will be here will be card, here will be sentiment, little bow and stuff like that. So I'll glue it for now, and I will finish. So I will need to do a little thinking and pull this specific stamp set as well. Right. Okay. So our mechanism should be dried, right? And we could move. And so let's just pretend we put that whisper white for now, so we kind of understand. All right. Are you ladies done with your Easter cards? What holiday are you crafting for right now? Next week, I plan to have some interesting folds and actually incorporate Easter into that. I realized, oh my gosh, it's coming so fast, and I didn't even start thinking about it. So we're gonna put on that piece, on two pieces behind, exactly as we did on the first card. If you miss it, watch the video after it posted from the beginning. Keep in mind, you could always pause it after and kind of rewatch the steps and kind of do it alone with me. But I think it's gonna work, and it gives you much bigger room to decorate compared to the original card I looked. So let's kind of test that, right? So it's not opening quite as much, so I'm probably gonna put all the way down. So it still folds flat, right? So this is what I mean. Yeah, so it's not folding as much, but it still gives you that room and those different panels. It could be interesting too, like if you're doing stuff for graduation, just got the idea. Monica, you're not copying from me. To put maybe inside picture of kids when they were kind of kindergarten, high school, and, graduation picture, and then message, kind of cool. So instead of the centerpiece, instead of being designer paper like we have, it's could be kind of like little memory, right? So don't think about this pop-up as only designer paper. You could basically put maybe different messages and different verses, I don't know. So you saw I just put it down. I'm talking and I'm not explaining. And then this one I fold it flat and I close the card. Cassie, good for you. You're done with Easter cards. I didn't even start. All right. So see, this is the fold that I really wanted to try. And it does work. It's not opening as quite much, right? Because it's long. So maybe next time I will go, instead of 2 3/4, I'll try like 2.5. So it still give me a lot of rooms, or maybe do slightly bigger, so it's still more pieces. But yeah, I'll decorate later and post a picture, but let me show you what we made. So we made this card, and this is that pop-up, and I was showing my daughter birthday card, and this is the card featuring Hello Irresistible. Love the paper, so easy to create with that. And this is the card, so this is the original. And I was playing just with inside, still need some work, but it's basically different sides of panels. All right, if you need more ideas, visit funstamper.com. Please share my video, please comment. This is what you can do for me. It's really helping me out. Any shares, any comments, any post likes. And I hope to see you next Wednesday. And until then, happy stamping. Bye.